Well, good morning, everybody. I know it's been a while since I posted a video, but I have just recovered over the last 7 days from COVID 19, coronavirus, Rona, whatever you want to call it. But I made myself some notes because I wanted to make sure that I stayed on track. I do want you to know that this video is it's a hard video to make because I know there's been people who have lost their lives due to COVID-19 and other conditions, some even just purely COVID-19. And so I'm sorry for your loss. I grieve with you. We lost a good friend to it who had some pre-existing conditions. But I do want to give some pragmatic things that you can do to limit the effect of it on you or possibly even a family member. So again, as I talk through this, I want you to understand that I hope you can hear it in my voice and that you can see it. My goal is not to make light of this thing. On the flip side of that, though, is that the media has done a very good job at making people afraid of it. And I was one of those. My wife has a compromised immune system, and I was afraid that she caught it, would catch it. Well, it seems that all five of the people that live in my house, me, my wife, and my three daughters, caught it simultaneously and came down with the symptoms within 48 hours of each other. And so here we go. Okay, so for me, I woke up on a Thursday morning at 2 a.m., took a couple of Advil because I felt like I was catching the flu. 10 hours later, ibuprofen wears off, and I've got 101 temperature. I go to my doctor, and I end up, they do a swab for the flu. It came back negative. I knew I had it. Ended up, they called me the next day and said, hey, you've got it. Told me I had to quarantine for 10 days. Ended up quarantining for 12. But I want you to understand the limit of it on me was an inconvenience, but the 10-day quarantine was probably harder on me than the actual symptoms. 36 hours of feverish feeling, a little bit of body ache, about a day and a half, and they went away. And then a head cold happened, and I mean, it was just the worst sinus head cold. It was awful, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And so I started immediately, though, with vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. And I think that helped me. I did not lose my taste. My wife and two of my three daughters lost their taste and smell. I did not. I did notice a slight difference I do apple cider vinegar daily, and I did notice a little difference in that it wasn't as strong. Now, I recently heard yesterday morning, actually, a study of 2,000 people who had strong immune systems that did not have as many complications as the people who do have compromised immune systems. And that's proven itself out in my own house with my wife. Having she still has a cough with it, and we're 3 weeks into this, and so she's still carrying a little bit of the cough with her. One of my daughters had fatigue. As I mentioned before, a couple of them had the body aches and loss of taste and smell. One of my three daughters had almost no symptoms. The secret here, guys, is that you have to get enough exercise or rest and diet. Make sure that you're eating good foods and that you're getting at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. Of course, you should be doing this anyway, regardless of whether you catch this, have your immune system good and strong. My mom always said, you're either going to spend it at the grocery store or you're going to spend it at the doctor's office. And that was a very true statement. Secret of this thing is stay ahead of it. You have to stay ahead of this thing, and I recommend that you buy a blood oxygen sensor, the one that goes on the end of your finger. You can get them on Amazon for $25. Buy a blood oxygen sensor and use it immediately. They'll tell you when you go to the doctor, if the day you get tested, what your blood oxygen level is, and you need to remember that, because if your blood oxygen level gets below 90%, you need to get to the ER immediately, and you need to tell them you want the plasma treatment. The reason I tell you that is because when we were diagnosed, and a lot of people found out, a friend of mine called me, same age as me, he's around 50 years old, and he said, hey, look, Mike, I waited too late and ended up in the ER, and my blood oxygen got down below 90%, and I ended up being in the hospital for a few days. But once I had the plasma treatment, he said the next day he walks out of the hospital, and so it's important. But I make this video to hopefully give you guys some hope and let you know you don't have to be afraid. You do have to be careful, and you do have to respect that our lives are, everybody's going to die someday. And I don't make light of death, but you should ask yourself this question: am I ready to die? And a friend of mine said, everybody has an appointment with death. It's like we're standing in line, and when it's our turn, it's our turn. And there's nothing we can do to get out of that appointment. And so my question would be, are you ready to die? And if you want to put in the comments below, I'm not ready to die, I'd be more than happy to respond to you and tell you how you can know that you're ready to die. And so, and one out of every one is going to die someday. I apologize, by the way, for this video being 6 minutes, close to 7 minutes, but I hope this information helps. And been wanting to make this for a few days, and I finally just made time to make it happen. But I hope this helps, and if you like the video or can subscribe to our channel, would be much appreciated. Thank you so much.